We are looking at LSAT Prep Test 82, Logical Reasoning Section 1, Question 2. Argument by analogy. In the stimulus, one speaker makes the following argument. Speaker 1 argues that history shows grammar rules change constantly, and grammar will change even if we try to enforce it. Therefore, we shouldn't care about violating grammar rules. Another speaker counters by making an argument by analogy. Speaker 2 argues that history shows law changes, but it's good to enforce our laws, therefore we should care about grammar rules. The underlying method of argument of Speaker 2, argument by analogy, takes the following form in logic. X and Y both have attributes A. X has an additional attribute B. Therefore, Y probably has B. In Speaker 2's example above, X stands for laws. Y stands for grammar rules. A stands for changing constantly. B stands for caring about enforcement. In other words, Speaker 2 makes the following argument. 1. Our laws and grammar rules change constantly. 2. We care about enforcing our laws. Therefore, we should care about enforcing grammar rules. While the question does not consider ways to strengthen or weaken arguments by analogy, it is useful to know how to strengthen or weaken analogies. One way to strengthen an argument by analogy is to suggest additional factors that suggest the two things being compared, X and Y, are relevantly similar. One way to weaken an analogy is to state a relevant dissimilarity between X and Y. For example, in this case we can argue that laws and grammar rules are dissimilar because laws may affect a person's life or safety, so we care about enforcement. Another way of strengthening or weakening an analogy is to make the conclusion more or less specific. If a conclusion uses qualifiers such as may or probably, it strengthens the argument. On the other hand, if a conclusion is specific or definitive, it weakens the argument.